Yo, in this tutorial, I'll be breaking down 3 of my favorite lazy effects at the moment. I'm a huge fan of these effects at the moment because they're pretty quick to make with very low effort and they look great. And shout out to my boy Asim for the video idea, but let's hop right into the tutorial. So I have my first clip right here, and what we will be creating is this kind of glare effect. And to do that, you will need the Universe plugin. And we will be applying the null light factory effect. And I'll be doing this effect on his watch right here, but I've seen people do this effect on guns and jewelry and blunts and just a lot of different details in a scene, so you don't necessarily have to do it on a watch. And then I'll be changing the flare to this bad guy. This one is really sick, but I'll look through them and see if I have another one that I like. Yo, sorry to interrupt. I just want to let you guys know that I just dropped a new version of my VFX Kit plugin with over 150 effects that you can preview and simply apply with one click. And this version of the plugin doesn't require any third-party plugins. And we also have a launch sale going on, so it's $40 off. So make sure to go and grab it before the sale is over. But let's get back to the video. I want something blue, so that bad guy is a really great one, and it's also pretty wide, so I'm a huge fan of that one, so I think I'll just go for that. Oh, this one was also sick, but I think I'll go for the bad guy, and then I'll turn down the brightness a little bit, like 74 is great, and the size, the scale, we can keep it at 1.2. And then what I'm gonna do is keyframe the light location, go to the first frame, reset the light location to his watch, and then go like a few frames in, move the light location to his watch once again, then to the last frame, move the light location, and just make sure that it sticks to your detail in your scene. So right here it goes a little bit off, so I'm gonna just move it. Then I'm gonna go like half a second in, keyframe the brightness and the scale, then go back to the beginning, and I'm gonna drag them down a little bit. They will still be visible, but just not as much. So the scale is at 0.7, and we can keep the brightness at 76. And then we can add something like a flicker just to spice this up a little bit more, add a little bit of an extra detail to it. I can keep it at 0.2. And then lastly, we can also add on a chromatic aberration just to spice it up a little bit more. I'm gonna drag down the master distortion to like 0.2, so it will be pretty low. And then we'll also open up the lens texture tab and pick a lens texture in here, something like the bulkier one. That one is sick. We can drag up the texture amount a little bit. Now we have this pretty sick effect. Didn't take me more than like 3 minutes to do. Pretty low effort as well. No masking done. Nothing like that. Just a little bit tracking and then just some extra details to spice it up. Now let's hop into effect number 2. For the next effect that we'll be creating, you need 2 different clips. For the next effect we'll create, you'll be needing 2 different performance clips. You can do this on B-roll clips as well, but I just feel like it looks a lot better on performance shots. So the first thing we're gonna do is drag this one. So they'll basically cross each other for like a couple of frames. Nothing more than half a second is needed. So right around here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut it and then cut it at the end as well. So now I have these 2 clips, and the clip that you want to add into your scene, you'll basically just drag that one underneath. So right down there. And of course it's not visible right now. So basically what we will do is we'll have this original clip play, and then it will basically just quickly pan down and switch to the clip underneath. So before we start the transition, the first thing I gotta make sure is that they're lined up perfectly. And it's pretty hard to do right now. And if you do have an HD clip, then you just set your position of the one at the bottom to 1620. So now we'll be creating a new null object. So right click, go to new, create a new null object, and then parent these 2 clips by selecting both of them. Drag the parent link to the null object. And now when we click on the null object and move the position down, you can see that we have the other clip underneath. So what we'll be doing right here is just keyframe the position, go into the end right here, which is like 10 frames, 15 frames, so about half a second. And then we drag this all the way down till our clip is lined up perfectly, just like that. So right off the jump, it looks like this, which doesn't look good. It looks like it was done in iMovie, so we need to change that. Select both of your keyframes, easy ease them, open up the graph editor, and right now we can't use the value graph, so we need to right click on the position, go to separate dimensions and separate them. Then we need to easy ease them once again, and now we can use the value graph. I'm gonna create a graph that looks something like this, so pretty quick. So it will be a pretty quick shift. So I recommend that you do this effect on clips that have a lot more high energy, and of course turn on motion blur as well. That's about it. I'll play through now, and that's what we got. Maybe a little bit too fast, So I'll slow it down a little bit using the graph editor by just dragging this one out. But just like that, I'm pretty happy with the result. A really high energy transition and pretty low effort as well. We can drag that one out. So this is what it will look like in a real music video. So this one is a little bit more high energy, so keep that in mind when you do this effect. But let's hop right into the third and last one. So now for the third and last effect, we have these 3 clips. We have the performance shot, and then we have this shot of him in the car, and then this kind of second performance shot. Like I said, I recommend that you keep it between 2 other clips, so just a short filler between 2 performance shots. And to create that effect, we'll be using either the Sapphire Random Edits effect, this one right here. And if you have that one, then all you need to do is change the frame length to like 1 or 1.5. And then you're pretty much done. You can obviously spice it up with some looks after, which I'll do in a second. But if you don't have the Sapphire plugin, then you can use the time warp effect built inside of After Effects. And we'll set the speed to 100. So now we're back at the normal. And we'll keyframe the speed, move this keyframe back. And then here for the first frame, we'll be dragging it up to, let's go for 1.5K, something like this. And now I have all of these random clips, just like that. And then you can add a shake or something like that at the end. So if you want some motion blur in this scene as well, then you just enable motion blur, change the shutter control to manual, and then that's about it. You can drag up the shutter samples to like 20, and that way you'll have some motion blur in this scene, as you can tell right here. But if you want a smoother motion blur, then I recommend that you go for the RSMB plugin, which is a paid plugin, but it is a great one. So I'll just apply it, drag up the motion blur to 1 and 100. So this is what we got. That's maybe a little bit too much. I'll drag it down to, let's go 0.5. And then if you want to stylize this a little bit as well, you can go for a black and white effect, as well as an add grain. And just like that, you have a little bit of style into this scene. You just need to change the add grain view mode to final output, and that's about it. Then you can add a shake here at the end, and I'll do that by using the VFX Kit plugin, which, like I said in the promo, is my own plugin that I've created, which doesn't require any third-party plugins, at least not if you're using the default version. So I'll open that one up and I'll close down the add-on version. So I'll open up the shakes tab and I'll go down to a clean shake, like the subtle vertical shake, and just apply it quickly onto my scene. Just like that, I have this effect and the shake without any third-party plugins. Looks sick. And you can see in here, I don't use any third-party plugins for the shake, but still looks like a Sapphire shake pretty much. But that's basically it for this tutorial. I'll leave the VFX Kit link to the description if you want to check it out for yourself. It's a great plugin for music video editors or just VFX editors in general. But I hope you learned a lot, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.